Coach Stallings just as sure-handed with the trophy today as his team was with the football last night. Welcome back to the New Orleans Center. Chris Fowler along with Lee Corso and Craig James, both front runners to the core. Look at the Bama #1 buttons.
Knew it all along,
proven wrong, Coach? But they know when they are wrong. We'll hear from them in a second. First of all, though, Alabama 13-0, only the third team in history to do that, and the first team out of the SEC to win a national championship since 1980. Here's the final poll. Miami drops to #3 after the loss. Florida State jumping to #2. Notre Dame 4th. Michigan 5th. Take a look at the second part of the top 10. Syracuse, A&M, Georgia at 8, Stanford 9, Florida 10. So 3 SEC teams in the top 10. Meanwhile, Gene Stallings got to reflect on, after getting glory as a player and an assistant coach, finally getting it now as a head coach.
As I said a number of times, only in America can you be fired twice and end up winning the national championship or be the coach of the year.
Coach Stallings carried off by his players and carried off by his family also.
See the team win the national championship and go 13-0. It has to be a high mark.
Well, then, summing up your feelings for you and your daughters, you got to be proud of the guy, don't you?
Yes, really proud, really excited. Proud for the university, proud for all the fans, proud for the state of Alabama.
Stallings' very large family has been with him through some ups and some downs.
You know, Chris, Gene has stumbled a couple times in his career, but he has learned, like a lot of us, that the greatest glory you can have in this life is not in falling, but rising every time you fall. And he's a perfect example of that.
Literally rising from the ashes of Phoenix. Meanwhile, where are the Bama fans who wanted Stallings fired 3 games into his career after 3 losses, Craig?
Well, you know, spending time around Stallings this week in this kind of environment really opened my eyes to the fact that he is a perfect fit for the Alabama Crimson Tide. I can't see him going down coaching at Miami, just like I couldn't see Dennis Erickson coaching Alabama. This is a perfect match. If there ever was one, Bear Bryant was one. Here comes #2.
Revived Alabama football. The toughness, the physical play up front. A lot of heroes on both sides of the ball last night. A lot of guys up front creating some big holes. And the MVP, Derek Lassick, with 135 yards and a couple of touchdowns, gets in one final shot.
It's a great feeling when you prove people wrong, and Miami was they gave our defense a lot of credit, but they said our offense wasn't worth a bleep, and you know, that made a couple of us mad and angry. And that Marley guy, he was a nice guy after the game, but before the game he was a little obnoxious, and we shut his mouth.
Gino Torretta, 3 interceptions. Confused right here, picked off by George Teague. He does lead with 2 rings at 26-2, but goes out in the low point.
Well, it's tough. I mean, it's hard to swallow. You know, my last game in a Miami uniform, we lost. I don't know how to explain.
Craig, he goes out in the low point, but Miami seniors can certainly be proud of what they accomplished. Almost unprecedented in college football.
And, you know, we used the word once to Erickson about rebuilding. He said, what are you talking about? I lost 1 football game here. Miami, as long as they stay in the state of Florida, which I think will happen, they're going to have great recruiting classes. Dennis Erickson is an excellent coach. He had his team ready to play. He'll have them ready to play next year. But he will have 1 blemish on his record. He has to go to Tallahassee and play Florida State, and that's going to be a big knock on the head.
Not so fast, my friend. Not so fast. Remember another thing about Miami. This is the 7th straight year Miami has finished in the top 4 teams in the nation. What an unbelievable record.
They lose a lot of people, though. They do lose the linebackers, they lose Torretta, the receivers, and next year, Dennis Erickson's first full senior class. It'll be a challenge. It'll be young, but he says we're not going anywhere. Meanwhile, all of us picking Miami in a close game, we should have known about the secret X factor, the secret weapon. Here's Gene Stallings' explanation.
It's no big deal to anybody but me. But I've had this Buckeye for the entire season. I've rubbed it for 13 games, and I'm going to retire that little rascal. I'm not going to put it under any more pressure.
Don't know if you need lucky charms and you have players like he has.
No, linemen.
No, we got that name for that defense, slobber knockers.
Not going to catch on, James.
Oh, yeah.
Explain to me what that means someday. Reminder, a special edition of NFL Primetime at 7:30 Eastern Time. Chris Berman and the gang with highlights of the playoff games, followed by the Peach Bowl from the Georgia Dome, North Carolina, and Mississippi State. Can the SEC make it 6-0?
This bowl update is brought to you by Duracell batteries. You can't top the copper top.
Lots more Sports Center to bring you. College hoops in the afternoon on the ice. The Blackhawks.
I can't win it on the field, baby. You got to win it on the field. You got
It started, as it has all season, with defense. The bookends, Curry and Copeland, outmuscled Miami's offensive line and turned Heisman Trophy winner Gino Torretta into a hesitant passer who lost both time and yardage making up his mind.
Eric, Copeland, Gregory, London Hall, inside linebackers, those guys, that was the idea that tonight. When we went at him, we got to him, we pressed him, caused him to make quick passes and bad decisions where he threw 3 interceptions. And defensive, we did a heck of a job.
I just want to prove to him that we rule the SEC, and now we rule the nation. That's all I want to prove to him.
Bama continued to prove its #1 status in the secondary, where Sam Shade, Tommy Johnson, and George Teague silenced the bold and brash Hurricane receivers with timely interceptions.
4 years, I've always dreamed of intercepting one and running all the way back. My senior year, last game, it finally happened.
In October, Derek Lassick had a season high in the Superdome against Tulane. On this same carpet, the senior ran through the vaunted Canes for 135 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the MVP award.
Oh, I love this dome. Saints need a running back.
Those Saints might also consider drafting some linemen. The unsung heroes of the pits opened the running lanes for 267 Alabama rushing yards.
You know, we're a tight group. You know, we've been playing together for 2 years, and we're all going to be back next year except George, left guard. So, you know, I'm looking forward, you know, good things out of this offensive line even next year.
The sea at the Superdome is one of unrestrained joy and sadness as the long drought ends and a new page begins in Alabama football history. Alabama's first century of champions ended with the sweetest Sugar Bowl win of all, ending Miami's win streak at 29, extending theirs to 23, and earning the respect it seemed only one man gave them all season long.
Hey, where's that guy, the reporter from Arizona who picked us #1? Corky Sims. Hey, man, and where's he at? He has to be a genius right now.
You're only an underdog if you think you're an underdog. I didn't think we were. You know, head up, I would have taken my football team. Hey, I said that, and I knew that I was going out on a limb. Just so happens that's what I believe.
I think, you know, the throne, you know, has shifted. Alabama is now the team of the 90s.
And with Alabama's talents and the schedule for the coming year, another tied title makes sense. But for now, Alabama will savor this sweet Sugar Bowl victory and the national championship.
Like I was telling all my boys at the crib, I told you it was going to be a blowout, baby. I told you, Big Friendly, blowout. Hi, Mom, blowout.
In New Orleans, I'm Andrew Stockey, Action News 10 Sports.
Now, Coach. All right, handoff to Sherman Williams. Blunt scores the Sherman shake. All right, that touchdown put Alabama up for good and cruised to a halftime score of 13-6. The second half continued with Alabama defense picking off All-American Gino Torretta 2 more times, and both turnovers led to second-half touchdowns. Our Scott Hunter was at the Sugar Bowl and has this report on the sweet 34-13 victory.
I knew Alabama had a good plan going into this football game, and the coaches did too. But the players executed it, and it resulted in a national championship. Yeah! I don't even know what to ask. Yeah, I don't know what to say, man. It was a long year. We did it. Everybody doubted us. We showed it tonight, man. We're the #1 this year. What a offensive line plan, and what execution. I never dreamed you'd get over 200 yards rushing on it. Yeah, you know, we film all year long. You know, they got hurt up the middle, and that was our game plan, attack them right up the middle. We weren't going to try to outrun them, pass. We were just going to pound them. And, you know, it did it for us. We won. National champions. National champs. That's what it's all about. What a plan Bill Oliver had. I'll tell you what, I mean, he had a great plan for us. We came out and we executed the plan. Before he really shut down Gino Torretta, we were able to put pressure on him tonight. I mean, I can't describe this, Phil. This was the best thing that's ever happened to me. Everybody said we couldn't do it, so the ESPN, the ABC, all of the CBS said Alabama wasn't going to make it. But look at y'all. Look at the score up there, 34-13. Alabama #1, baby. Perfect, 13-0. It hadn't been done. #1, baby. It's gone. National champions. Yes, boy, yes. I don't even know how to act now. Talk to me. First of all, I want to give thanks to God, you know. Thank you for this great victory and this great season. And what more can I say? National champ. Way to go. Ex-players are proud of you.
Thank you.
Let's do this. Give me a gift. I love it. Hey, you got it. Go get it. Congratulations.
Hey, thanks very much. Everybody who shouted us, hey, what's up now? I know y'all ain't like Alabama on style, hey, but right now, we next in town.
No, sir. I'll tell you what, I'm not going to be a reporter right now. I'm just going to be a alum and an ex-player. And I'm going to enjoy this national championship. Scott Hunter in New Orleans, blue center 5, and roll Tide.
And that's that. The top 10 is in. Alabama back on top, followed by Florida State at number 2, Miami, Notre Dame, Michigan, and at number 6, we got Syracuse, 7, Texas A&M, Georgia, Stanford, and Florida. The SEC had 3 teams in the top 10.
Heated rivalry warms up again in the Sunshine State. There's a new world order in college football, and Alabama rules the land. Hey, do yourself a favor. Turn around and sit down. This show's rocking.
The beat indeed goes on. Welcome to the show. I'm Tom Kirkland.
I'm Bob Lorenz. Good to have you here on Sports Saturday. You know, the Washington Redskins still have a tough road to hoe in the NFC playoffs, but I'll tell you what, they're happy to be saying that instead of thinking about what they were thinking maybe 5-6 weeks ago, and they didn't even know if they were going to beat
Not very grateful. You know, last week the Vikings beat the Packers and allow the Redskins to get in the playoffs. So what do? They return the favor by going up there and beating them. Huh? The defending Super Bowl champs.
Hopes of repeating as national champions.
And then later on, the race for the big cheese and the pros is on as well. We've showed you today's playoff activity coming up on Sports Saturday, a preview of Sunday's wild card doubleheader. Welcome back to the show. The college football world has just about closed up shop for another season. The 1992 banners now and forever hanging in Tuscaloosa. Alabama shocking everybody but themselves with a 21-point thrashing of #1 Miami.